Well, this is to give you a little taste of what our home looks like now. This is the entry hall, which hasn't really changed very much. We thought there's one of Marilyn's beautiful silk quilts. We kind of kept this the same, but we made a lot of other changes throughout. Initially, we had hardwoods in the hall going up to the great room and into the kitchen. The first change we made was here in the mudroom where we had linoleum, and now we have some very attractive tile in a nice checkered pattern. Marilyn's very proud of this room. She actually constructed this, the door, the paneling, and everything herself shortly after we moved in. The first big change we made is that we extended the hardwoods. As I said, we're in the hall, but we extended them into the den, which had been carpeted, so that now we have hardwoods extending in here and a beautiful Persian rug that we got to give some accent to the room. We spend a lot of time in here doing a lot of what each of us does. There's a lot of art on the walls. These are two prints from Nigeria. And this was a birthday present from our daughter, Megan. That's a photograph from Fraser, Colorado, actually a tributary to the Fraser River, looking at Byers Peak, which you see right there. And there's a story in our family that has a lot to do with Byers Peak, but that'll be for another time. So coming back out in the hall, you can see we have a lot of photographs. These are from our honeymoon 21 years ago in France. This is the Wall of Fame of all our children and grandchildren. That hasn't been updated very much for the past year and a half because we haven't been going anywhere. The hardwoods continue into the kitchen as they had before, but the big change was that we had carpeting here in the great room, and now it's all hardwood. As you can see, the other big change we made a couple of years ago, we initially had a television on that wall, and we have moved it to another location, so we freed up a lot of space for Marilyn's lovely quilts and some of my photographs. There's one of her prize-winning quilts above the fireplace. It's a lovely piece with a lot of detail, and she's quite talented in that regard. One of the things we did when we changed the color of this room, we finally figured out what to do, not so much with that wall space, but with the space above, as you see up here. And we have 3x4 of our photographs on canvas from places we have visited and loved: Colorado, Utah, California, and Georgia. Here's our kitchen where I do a lot of work with in my Ninja Foodie. And this is our dining area. This is a lovely bright area, the great room with all these windows. So the hardwoods then continued in the great room into the sunroom, you can see here, and here we replaced some linoleum with some lovely ceramic tile. Very nice, and has created a room we spend even more time in now. We moved our television here, as you'll see in a moment, and that means we spend most evenings in here. As I said, plenty of room for art. My photographs and Maryland's quilts. And of course, it's all decorated with the style and taste of Maryland that adds all sorts of nice little touches. So, and this is where the television ended up, and again with more art on the wall. So that gives you some idea about what we've been up to during COVID, making changes, changing surfaces, changing colors, printing photographs, hanging quilts. And we've about had enough of that and are now ready to get back on the road. And I hope that we'll be able to see many of you when we do that traveling. Take care. Love you all.